Good morning. I almost fell over doing that. That's good. Hi. This is the fucking yoga company. No, not that kind of yoga. My name is Julia. Today is Viniyoga. If you're joining me in the current space-time continuum, it's Friday morning. And it's when we're in fall. It's autumn and September here in the northern Colorado space. If you tuned in for evening yoga, I sent out the email, the apology. Life is insane right now. We're trying to sell our house, and that just means lots of showings and trying to be available. The fact that we're basically living in a model home, which sucks because everything has to be clean. We are going to work a little cobra flow today. Viniyoga is a therapeutic-based yoga designed to support your joints and your spine. There's a lot of breathing, so we're going to work and emphasize that breathing rhythm. And we're focusing on some repetitions. We want to work through the mobility of the joints. We want to increase blood flow and thereby keep things lubricated, keep our system that is rapidly drying out as we get older, in good working condition. That being said, there's not a whole lot of modification that we need to do in Viniyoga because we don't, very rarely do we even stand up in Viniyoga. We are going to be working a little downward facing dog today, but just in a brief, as a brief part of the flow. Outside of that, we're going to start in comfortable seated position, whatever that looks like for you. So you could do both legs out, you could do both legs in, you could do a leg out. However you can be comfortable on the mat to start our focus, get there. If you are sitting in pleasant seated pose, I would like you to uncross your legs. So if you're stacking calves over ankles, right, we're already reinforcing imbalance. So we want to spread the angle of our knees out so that our heels, our ankles, and legs are kind of stacked parallel on the mat. Not stacked parallel, but placed parallel on the mat. We're going to pull our attention and awareness from the external to the internal. We're going to take a scan of the body, checking into the state and quality of our physical form. What have you been doing during the week, and how is that playing out on your body? Just taking that scan, checking in at the beginning of practice where we are feeling some tension or tightness. Wherever you are in the length and balance of that breath, we're going to pull the attention into the state and quality of our thinking. You might already have a to-do list humming along. There might be some things left over from the week. We're pushing into our focus for the weekend. We want to slide all those things off to the side and create a nice, clear, open field of thought so that we can spend our time here on the mat and where we're sitting rather than having our thoughts scattered. Let's move that silence into our awareness of the breath. And traditionally in yoga, we breathe into and out of the nose. If you're having some reaction to the smoke or some allergies, just find a way to breathe comfortably. And we are going to start trying to find that ocean swelling breath that we work through in Viniyoga. Wow, that took me a minute to process my thoughts. Wherever you are in the length and balance of the breath, let's exhale all the air out of the lungs, and we are going to start moving toward that ocean swelling breath. So we want to draw the breath into the lungs through the chest. We want to expand the space of the lungs under the ribs, and then draw the breath into the lungs to fill that space of the belly. As you exhale, we are going to collapse the belly, engage the core, and then release that breath from low belly to rib cage to shoulders. And I want you to start growing that breath and finding your longest balance of breath, matching length of inhale and exhale. So much so that you reach a point where at the top of suspension, you have to shift gears to move into the inhale, and at the bottom of retention, you have to shift gears to move into the exhale. So let's just start working through creating length and balance in that breath. So with our next inhale, we're just going to lengthen that left arm. We're reaching it up toward the ceiling, keeping some space between the ear and the shoulder. And as we exhale, we're going to take a little tilt over to the right. Let's inhale up through center, and exhale, just release that arm down to the knee. So that's where we're going to go. We're going to alternate sides. So start with the inhale first. And then we bring that right arm up. We're keeping that length of space between the ear and the shoulder. We're going to take a gentle lean to the left. Inhaling up, and then slowly releasing down with the exhale. So we want to move our body at the same speed as the length of our breath. And remember, we're always initiating the movement with the breath. So we start the exhale, and as we continue, then we move. We start with the inhale, and then we move. Think of it like putting on the gas pedal, only in a ridiculously slow motion. We're going to take 2 more repetitions. Let's take this to the last. This will be our last arm sweep and lateral extension. Let's sweep both of those arms slowly up, and we're going to move into a very easy forward fold. So the fingers will drift down. We're just going to take the lean as we follow, tuck the chin, and just take a shallow, easy bow. Inhaling up, we extend the arms. We're going to walk the hands back. Continue that sweep of the arms toward the ceiling. And then we're going to release them down. If you happen to be sitting with a knee in or in pleasant pose, let's switch the cross and the placement of those legs. And we're going to take that slow fold again, inhaling up. And we're just going to exhale into this shallow bow. Inhaling, extend those arms. Walk the hands back. Continue that stretch up to the ceiling. And then we'll release those arms down. All right, let's relax out of that swelling ocean breath. We're going to move to hands and knees. I'm going to pad my knees with a blanket. I'm going to go a little thinner because we're going to work through a Chakravarkasana bow. We're going to go into a Vajrasana reach, which is standing on our knees with an arm sweep. And then we're going to move down into cobra. We're going to work a little, and then there's a little downward facing dog in there. So we're working through that range of motion. So I'm going to do a little thinner. My point was my blanket's going to be a little thinner because we're going to come down into cobra on the belly. All right. So 2 hands between the knees, a little wider stance. Move the heels of the hands out in front of your shoulders, half to a full palm's length, soften the elbows. Let's start with our Chakravarkasana bow. So let's exhale all the air out of the lungs. And now let's inhale through that flat back. Start your ocean swelling breath. Initiate the exhale as we drop the chin. Place the forearms to the mat. And now continue sweeping, tucking that tailbone as we drop into the fold toward the floor. Wiggle the fingers, roll the wrists, make some twists. And we start our next inhale as we move forward, or like right before. Keeping that back flat, keeping the shoulders relaxed. And then we will move. Initiating with the exhale. Slowly lowering the forearms. Scooping the belly then and reaching back for that bow. Wiggle the fingers, roll the wrists. We're going to take 3 more of those. You are controlling that breath to create this nice, slow, conscientious movement of the body. And we're going to release into this bow. Just rock side to side. Relax the arms a little further open. You can tuck the chin, rest the forehead on the mat, or turn your head to rest a cheek. Let's just relax out of our breath and notice the energy throughout the wrists, the elbows, the shoulders, and through the low back and hips. We're going to engage the core and come to standing on our knees. So drop those hips back, and we're going to take this slow reverse crunch up. Balance right to left, feel solid and centered, and then balance front to back. If you're leaning too far back, you're going to feel this in your quads. If you're too far forward, your toes are going to come off the mat. So we want to hold here. We're going to do some gentle lateral extensions, just like we did in our seat. This time we're going to add a tuck of the arm as we lean in that direction. So let's exhale all the air out of the lungs and start our ocean swelling breath. Let's just connect some gentle arm sweeping to that. Initiating that inhale. We're going to take one more of those arm sweeps. Now let's release the left arm to tuck either right at the glute or a little higher on the hip. And then we exhale into that lateral extension toward the tuck of the elbow. Inhaling up, let's unwind that arm nice and slow. And we're going to slowly release that right arm, just tucking right into the hip or wrapping it around the waist and taking that lean. We're going to continue this. We're just moving through the breath. Remember to initiate the exhale first. We're going to take one more repetition in both directions. Let's come up through our inhale, and now we're going to take our double arm sweep into the fold for Vajrasana. So we engage the core. We're going to slowly sweep back, taking that bow. Initiate the inhale, engage the core, tuck those hips back, and then take this reverse crunch all the way through the sweep of the arm. And again, we're going to take a few more of these. We're going to release here in the fold. You can rest your arms at your ankles. If it feels more comfortable, you can slide them out in front of you. We're just going to take this resting breath. Release the energy of that swelling inhale and exhale. We're going to come through to our cobra pose, Bhujangasana, releasing down to the belly. Take a little rock side to side. Take those toes and lengthen them away from the hip. So very long through the torso, long through the legs. Elbows are tucked up against the ribs, hands are out in front of the shoulders. We're just going to take a few rounds of our normal cobra. We're going to add a head tilt, and then we're going to add an arm sweep. So exhale all the air out of the lungs. And let's begin our ocean swelling breath. As we inhale, we keep the chin tucked We're just lifting the upper body with the core and the back. Relax the legs. As I release, I'm going to turn my head to one side and rest my head completely on the mat. And then let's take a full inhale and exhale here. And with the next inhale, we will lift to center again. Try to relax the glutes. There's no weight in the hands. Keep the chin tucked. We're not pushing into the mat. Turning the head in the other direction. Let's take our full inhale and exhale here. With our next inhale, let's track up into our lift. So let's just work through these repetitions. Unclench the teeth, relax the tongue away from the roof of the mouth. All right, let's relax the back of the head, or the head to the back of the hands. Take a little rock side to side. Release the energy of that breath. Let's take a few resting breaths. Notice the energy in the low back, in the neck, and in the core. All right, we're going to work in this arm sweep. So there are a variety of places to be. I'm going to tuck my head to the mat and take my hands back to hips. Now, if this is the energy you've got in your shoulders, palms up and resting at the hips, that's perfectly fine. If you can tuck to the glutes, that's also okay. So find that placement that's going to work for you, but let's be paying attention, because as we inhale, we're going to sweep that arm up and add the extension to our lift. And as we exhale, we're going to release it back down. So if taking the hands to the hips impedes that energy or that rotation of the arm into the arm sweep, just let them rest on the floor. Let's start our ocean swelling breath. We lift with our inhale. I'm going to sweep the left arm first. Keep the chin tucked. And then I'm releasing. So it's a much lower lift because we're taking the brace of our arms completely out of it. Add that inhale, sweep the right arm. Keep the chin tucked. So there is a rotation of the arm as we move from palms toward the ceiling to palms facing to center as we sweep the arms. Try to relax the legs, keep the toes in contact with the mat. We're going to take one more repetition with both arms. We're going to release down. I'm just going to rest my head on the back of my hands again. Take a little sway side to side. Relax the energy out of the breath. And let's notice the energy in the low back and the core here, even in the shoulders and the neck. We're going to bring those elbows back into the ribs, palms forward of the shoulders. I'm going to tuck my head. We're going to go back to our center lift, and we're going to lift a leg with each lift of the torso. So we're going to alternate sides. Exhale all the air out of the lungs to begin the process of starting that ocean swelling breath. And now let's start our inhale. I'm going to lift the upper body, and I'm just going to lift the left toe. And then I'm exhaling and releasing down. Initiating the inhale, lifting the torso and lifting the right toe. And then releasing. So that's where we're moving. Just slowing that down to contain it within the scope of that breath. We're going to take 2 more repetitions. And then let's relax into the back of the hands. Take a little sway side to side and notice the energy of the body. All right, we are going to bring our arms out in front of us. I'm going to take palms, resting my pinkies on the floor, tucking my chin. Now we're going to take a double leg lift with a double arm lift in this cobra. So we're amping up the energy. We're increasing our strength. We're doing a little core work here, but at the same time, we want to move through that breath and feel that energy as we stretch through the muscles of the core with the power of the breath. So let's exhale all the air out of the lungs. And as we initiate our next inhale, we're going to lift toes and arms. So this is going to be a small movement and nice slow release connected to the breath. So don't rush the breath. Don't rush the movement of the body. Wiggle those toes if you're starting to feel a cramp. We want to relax the feet. Keeping the chin tucked, relaxing those shoulders away from the ears. We're going to take 2 more of these. Let's release the body down, rest the head on the arms, take a little sway side to side. All right, we're gonna bring our hands underneath the shoulders. We're gonna bring ourselves to hands and knees. And we're gonna work a little Chakravarkasana bow, adding that in, and then we're gonna come and work a little active downward facing dog. So soft in the elbows, stacked in the hips, the heels of the hands are out in front of the shoulders just a little. And let's start with our inhale. Releasing the chin, placing the forearms to the mat, scoop the belly. It's going to be very important now to be getting that tuck of the tailbone. To release through the obliques, the lats, the lower lats, and the glute meads. We're going to take 2 more repetitions. And then we are going to move up into a gentle downward facing dog. I know that sounds like an oxymoron or a contradiction in terms. With our inhale, let's come forward, tuck the toes, just press up into the feet. You don't even have to step in. So we're going to exhale, lower the knees, and release into our child's pose. Just remember, keeping the elbows soft, keeping the shoulders shrugged down into the ears, staying soft in the knees. We're just moving through the stretch of the feet, gentle movement in the calf, little release in the low back, little stronger energy in the core and the chest. Give those fingers a wiggle, roll the wrists. We're going to take 2 more of these. We're releasing knees to the mat. Let's release into the child's pose. Take a little rock side to side. Let's open up those elbows and take a few resting breaths here. Just notice the energy through the back, through the hips, the arms, and the chest. So now we're going to engage the core and come back up to our Vajrasana stance. And we're going to work a little modified parigraha. I can't think of it. It's going to be our lateral extension with when we add our leg. So I'm going to take my left foot out. I'm going to modify this a little by taking it out about 45 degrees, and I'm keeping a bend in this knee, okay? Often we do this when we have our leg extended fully out, but I want to keep the energy low in the leg and all in the torso. So let's exhale all the air out of our lungs and initiate our inhale with our arm sweep. So now we're going to engage away from that leg. Release the right arm. Just take a reach back away from the leg. We inhale up through our sweep. And now we're going to turn a little and exhale out toward the leg. Take that stretch. Just working up in our repetition. We're going to finish off on this side. And then we're coming up to come down. So sweep these fingertips down to the hips. I'm going to bring this leg in without falling. That's what I was doing. And take a release into the fold. Engage the core, coming on up through that reach. Right foot. Sorry, I got an itch. Coming on out about 45 degrees, soft bend in the knee. We're not overextending. Coming on up, big inhale. Let's start this breath. We're going to go away from the leg first. It's a slight reach back and away. And then a slight turn toward it and up and over. Two more repetitions, just like that. Coming on up, let's release those fingertips down. I'm going to move that knee back and take a child's pose. Just release on into our fold. All right, we're going to walk forward to come to our backs. I'm going to move my blanket because I don't need it for this round. Just going to slowly ease ourselves into supine position, taking a little sway side to side. Relax the arms by your sides. Let's just take a soft, easy inhale and exhale. All right, we're going to work a little pelvic tilt. We're gonna take some windshield wiper sweeps, and we'll take some reclined cobbler. So the first round, this pelvic tilt, scooch those heels close to the glutes. Little tuck of the chin. Exhale the air out of the lungs. And then let's take the tailbone up, push it to the heels, the hips, and just the waistband. Exhaling, we're going to release slowly down. So we're moving with your length and balance of breath. We're trying to create that ocean swelling rhythm. We're going to take 4 more repetitions. One more pelvic tilt. Just take a breath or two right here, relaxing and feeling the energy of the body. All right, we're going to move the feet away from the glutes a little. Touch the toes, ankles, calves, knees, and thighs. We're going to work 4 repetitions of our active cobbler, and then we're going to work into a stay. So exhale all the air out of the lungs. Let's inhale. As we do, we're going to let those knees drop open. Just peel to the edge of the feet. Take a beat where the knees and the legs release. Woo! Working through a little cramp on that side. Hi. All right, as you exhale, press the hips down, engage the core, sweep those knees up and together. That's it. Inhaling, let's just relax those knees out. All right, we're going to release those knees open. We're pressing the soles of the feet together now. Take a little rock side to side. I'm going to move my arms out into a W shape, palms up. And I'm taking my 4 breath stay here. So 4 full inhales and exhales. I'm going to press my hips in, draw those knees up. Let's move the toes out to the edge of the mat. And now let's take our windshield wiper sweeps. Let's inhale at center. Exhale, let's just let the knees drift over. Engage the core, inhaling up to center. And drifting to the other side. We'll just work through repetitions. I'm going to do the counting for you. We're going to take one more sweep in both directions. We're going to just move the knees in. Let's slide the hands up over the knees. We're going to finish off with a few rounds of Apanasana, letting the knees hang in the length of the arm. So let's start with a power inhale here. Just draw that big ocean swelling breath in. And initiate the exhale, and then draw knees toward the body. Give me that tiny little lift of the tailbone. As we inhale, we lengthen the arms, let the knees hang into the power or the fingers, and then exhale, taking that little lift. We're going to take 2 more of these. Let's release the feet to the mat. Take a little sway side to side, and we're working right into Shavasana. So if you feel comfortable lengthening those legs and relaxing the hands at your sides, feel free to do that. I think I'm going to keep my feet on the mat, tilt them, scooch them out a little bit, and let my knees rest together. Relaxing the breath. Soft, easy inhale, soft, silent exhale. Find comfortable position for the hands. And then we are going to work our attention and awareness into the space and quality of our thinking. Check in. I lied. Let's check in with our forehead. Line and relaxation of the space in the forehead. Unclench the teeth. Let the tongue drop away from the roof of the mouth. Let's feel that release of energy down through the sides of the neck and across the tops of the shoulders. Travel through biceps and triceps, through the space of the elbow, little wiggle the forearm, wiggle the fingers, roll the wrists. Relax the upper body into the mat. Let's feel the shoulder blades flatten, traveling from the base of the neck through the spine. Feel the space between the ribs lengthen, maybe a little sway side to side with the hips. Let the torso and the glutes release their energy toward the floor. Feel the quads and the hamstrings. Maybe give them a little flexion and relax that energy out of the top of the legs. Feel the space behind the knee release its energy, a little wiggle of the calves, wiggle the toes, roll the ankles, and then let the lower body relax against the mat. Point our attention and awareness into the space and quality of our thinking. Let's check in We're going to slide anything trying to scratch its attention into our awareness off to the side. We want to hold our silence for a little while longer. And let's anchor that open field of thought into the breath. Soft, easy inhale, soft, silent exhale. We're going to draw some deeper breaths into the lungs. Big filling inhales, big sighing exhales. Wiggle the fingers, roll the wrists, wiggle the toes, roll the ankles. Reaching those arms out to the side, stretch through the center of the chest, out to the fingers. Sliding those arms up over the head. Let's take our big, long, getting out of bed, yawning reach. Let those hands slide down to the hips. I'm going to bring the knee up and give it a squeeze. Roll the ankle. Point and flex the foot. Excuse me. Bring the other knee up. Give that knee a squeeze. Let's take a little rock side to side. Roll from one hip across the low back to the other. When you're ready, let's rock completely over to one side. We want to rest our head on our arm. Just taking a breath or two right here. I'm going to lengthen my leg and pull myself up, walking hands, up underneath my torso. Take a little rock side to side, coming back up into comfortable seated position. Whatever that looks like for you, roll those shoulders back. I'm going to hook my fingers over my knees and take a gentle stretch to one side. I'm going to release my chin and take a little stretch to the other side. Let's stack shoulders over ribs, ribs over hips, and take a scan of the body, checking in, state and quality of the physical form on this end of the practice. Let's pull our attention and awareness into the state and quality of our thinking and check in. We can start moving our to-do list back into the queue with a little bit of elbow room, no pushing, no shoving. And finally, just noticing the intuitive rhythm of breath. That soft, easy inhale and soft, silent exhale is really what carries us through our day. With that, we're going to release practice. I'm blinking my eyes open. I like to take this last final sweep up toward the ceiling, but you do not have to join me if you do not want to. If it doesn't feel your jam for the rest of the day, releasing those fingers down. Taking a moment to honor your body for doing what you asked it to do today and all the hard work it does to get you from one end of the week to the other. Thank you so much for supporting the Fucking Yoga brand online. I really appreciate it. My name is Julia. If you have any questions, you can email me, yoga@jclyn.com. The website is the THEFNEFFING, yogablog.com. The calendar's there for class schedules and some purchase links. You can subscribe to my email there. You can get on one newsletter and a blog post per month with some special offers, maybe a little bit of there's going to be some book promo coming out. If you are a loyalty member, subscribing member, you get an early preview of the book cover. That's coming out soon. We are releasing the book. The book will be released, November 2020, a little after Turkey Day. Keep on the website, keep on the newsletters. If you're not receiving those emails, check your spam folder. Because we'll be doing some advanced reader copies, maybe a little drawing for that. There's going to be some pre-order swag available, swag packs. Might include a sassy t-shirt. And just in general, thank you so much for supporting the online gig, keeping me safe, keeping you safe, and keeping our groove on. Thank you for your patience with the technical glitches as I transition through this chaotic time of trying to sell our house and move into something new. The new space ideally will have a place for a yoga studio where we can have limited number of classes, maybe some weekend retreats. That's the long-term goal. So, yeah, pretty excited about that. Kind of excited to see you in person. And again, just enjoy the day. It's Friday. If it's your weekend, I hope you find some time to yourself to be silent, maybe avoid some of the crazy that's going on in the news. And remember grace and kindness, people. Grace and kindness. We are all more alike than we are different. And I think we're losing sight of that. So be well, remain calm, don't stab anybody or set anything on fire. I think those are good goals for today. That's my goal for today. Thank you for tuning in, and I hope to see you on Saturday, tomorrow in my space-time continuum.